Hey everyone, welcome to the VitaCast episode 95. I'm your host, Tyler Oltoff, and with me, as usual, it is the illustrious, beautiful, gorgeous, smelly Kyle Wakeling.
That was a horrible introduction, Tyler.
Was it? It started off really good, and then I got mean.
Well, it was kind of all over the place, to be honest.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That's alright. I'm tired, and there's a reason why I'm tired.
I give that intro a 4 out of 10.
That'd be a 2 out of 5 if we were going by our scale, which isn't too bad. I mean, it could be approved.
Tyler.
What?
Just no.
Okay.
Don't try and defend your shitty intro.
Alright.
Let's keep going.
Alright. Well, let me explain why I'm tired, because it kind of... I can't even think of a word. Just it ties in to Vita stuff. So, as you may know, it was Tuesday this morning. It's now Wednesday morning. But anyways, Tuesday's the game's release. So I was like, you know what? Monday night, I'm going to go straight to bed when I get home so I can wake up early and head to GameStop and pick up my limited edition Disco Fever, whatever the hell it is, Persona 4 Dancing All Night Collector's Edition. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to be responsible. Well, I did that. I went to sleep, and then I had like a nightmare, and I got startled. I was scared, and I woke up early, and I was like, are you kidding me? And then right as I was like trying to go back to sleep, my parents' dog started going bananas, and I was like, this is the worst thing to happen, because I'm really good at just like suddenly being wide awake with little sleep. And I was like, don't let it happen, Tyler. Don't let it happen. And it almost did. It almost did, but I was able to fall back asleep, but constantly woken up from the dogs, so I got like very little sleep. But I was still managed to wake up at like 9:30 in the morning and drive to GameStop, and then picked up the game and made videos and all that fun stuff. But it's made me very tired, and I'm so glad to be home. But I'm tired, so I might be a little off today. But what's new, right? Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
So, it's been an interesting week. How's your week going, Kyle?
Pretty good, Tyler. Pretty good.
Really? Explain.
Yeah.
Why is it so good?
Well, Tyler, somebody got a capture unit this week
Ooh.
to start. I don't want to tip you to who that somebody is, but it might be this guy over here.
Oh, what are the odds?
So yeah, Paul sent me his first capture unit that he bought. He actually bought a capture unit for his PlayStation TV, and then he ended up getting a capture Vita. So he sent me what he had originally bought, and I got the extra shit to make it work. And now I have myself a PlayStation TV with a capture setup. So interesting.
Very nice. And you've already utilized it more than Paul has, right?
Yes, I have. 3 Killzone videos and a tutorial on how to switch from a North American or European account to a Japanese account. So
Nice.
fun shit.
Well, all right. That's a good week. That is
Indeed,
a good week.
indeed.
Well, my week's been pretty slow. Nothing exciting like that. Although Persona 4 Dancing All Night, that's pretty exciting. But we'll get into that in a second, because I'm going to jump right to Kyle's, what he's been playing, since that's something we do in this podcast. So, Kyle, what have you been playing?
Well, I did a naughty thing, and
Whoa.
I unlocked my whitelist on my PlayStation TV, so I can play almost everything. Still, some things don't work. Tetris Ultimate. But I've been kind of diving into some things that didn't quite work on there. Hot Shots Golf, a little bit of Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z, um, stuff like that, and some Ridge Racer, some of the classics really. And other than that, I've been playing, as I said, some Killzone. Done 3 videos in my 9-video single player run through, so I'm a third of the way through so far. It's been interesting, definitely a learning experience, a little different than playing multiplayer with you or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I've been playing that. Also played some Ollie Ollie 2 this morning. My thumbstick though on my DualShock 4 is getting pretty fucked up though, so I'm probably gonna refrain from that for a little while. Um, and I also played some Resident Evil Revelations 2 though. That was actually on Vita, not PlayStation TV. So
Well,
yeah,
that's good.
quite a bit of stuff there, all over the place. Kind of getting back into old stuff and trying some stuff out, and yeah,
Nice.
yeah. What about
Well,
you, Tyler?
for me, I played a ton of Persona 4 Dancing. Well, I wouldn't say a ton. I've played a decent amount of Persona 4 Dancing All Night, because that just came out, and I, as you may know, just like Kyle, is a big fan of the Persona series, so I had to jump on board with this one and see what it's all about, and I'm really liking it. I was a little wary about the dancing aspect of the game, but man, this story mode feels just like a Persona game, and I'm loving that. Like, if you're a big fan of the Persona story and you just want to continue along the journey after what the events that took place in Persona 4 Golden, this is the game for you. It's just so exciting, and the dancing is just like an added feature to the game that is, yeah. Like, I'm not that far in it, so I really don't know exactly how it's going to all play out, but so far I'm just like, I want to know what's going to happen next, so I am all about that game. I also played a little bit of Soul Sacrifice Delta. Still working on quests and whatnot to get further in the game. I'm working on it. It's a slow grind, but it's going. It's going. I also played a little bit of Minecraft on Sunday or something like that. I did like this live stream or whatever, and played with a lot of my subscribers, and it was a lot of fun. It was crazy, but it was a lot of fun. Um, I also played, along with that live stream, I did some Killzone Mercenary, and I owned. It was great. Invoker's Tournament, and Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified. Yep, that's right, Call of Duty. I played that, and it
But
was crazy.
but
What?
but
Huh?
but why?
Well, you know,
But why, Tyler? But why? Just explain it to me. Why?
there's no real reason other than like you can see the shimmer of hope that that game had. Whenever you play multiplayer, you're like, this could have been so great, but it's not. But it's every once in a while, it's fun to just jump in there and wreck some people's days, um, which is what I did. I'm not the best at that game, as you might find out if you are a subscriber on my channel and check out the replay soon. I haven't actually edited it yet. That's a lot of work. I'll get on it eventually. But anyways, yeah, Call of Duty. But yeah, I think that's about it. There's there's probably something that I played that I'm not thinking about, but hey, yeah, it's a busy week. Persona 4 is out. Kyle's lame and is making me review Invoker's Tournament. I'm just kidding. He's not lame. I actually enjoy the game, so I definitely need to play more of it. And this review is gonna make me have to play more of it, and that's good, especially if it's a game I enjoy. So, anyways, that's about all I've played. So let's jump into the reviews from this week, and we've only got one here, and it is Pumped Bmx Plus, and it was reviewed by Charlie. He gave it a 3.9 out of 5, and he says, quote, Pump BMX Plus is a great addition to the PlayStation Vita, although some people may put it off due to the fact that it originates from a mobile title. If you look past this, you will find a game that plays like a cross between Ollie Ollie and Trials, which is no bad thing. Pumped BMX Plus doesn't need these comparisons though, as on its own it stands out as a great game that is perfect for gaming on the go. End quote. So there you go. Pretty high praise for the game. I've played a little bit of it. I hated it when I first played it, but that's because I was dumb and didn't play the tutorial. So, pro tip, play the tutorial before you jump into some random levels. Um, but yeah, the game's pretty fun. I would definitely say that Ollie Ollie and Trials are better. But if you like those types of games, then I would recommend this one. It's pretty cheap, and it's after you do the tutorial, it's pretty simple to understand, and you feel pretty awesome when you pull off some crazy tricks and whatnot. So, Kyle, are you planning on ever picking this one up?
Probably, but I think I'm gonna wait for a sale. Just doesn't look like something that I'd enjoy enough to pay full price for.
I gotcha. Well, there you go. Check out the full review if this game interests you and whatnot. So, like I said, that was our only review, so let's jump into the new releases, and they're the North American releases. So, for North America, we are getting Gem Legends for $4.99. We are also getting Persona 4 Dancing All Night for $49.99, and if you are special and want to get that Disco Fever edition, it's not listed here, but I think it's $79.99. So you can get that one as well. And Samurai Warriors 4-2 for $39.99. And we would go to Europe, but the European list is not available right now, so they're being lame right now. But we do know that Samurai Warriors 4-2 is coming out. We just don't know a price. That's Friday, right, Kyle?
Yes, it is.
So look out Friday, Europeans, for Samurai Warriors 4-2. We don't know of anything else, but as of recording, it hasn't gone live yet. So soon, hopefully, you'll find out. But yeah, let's jump into the news. Actually, no, we don't do that. Kyle, I don't think you're going to get any one of these games, but I might as well ask. Are you going to get any one of these games?
There's the slimmest chance that I'll get Persona 4 Dancing All Night, but it's not now, and it won't be soon.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You already know that I have Persona 4 Dancing All Night, so you don't even need to ask. I hate the Samurai Warriors games, so you don't even need to ask. Gem Legends, I think, is another match 3 puzzle type game. I think. I don't even know what it is. It just doesn't look like something I'd care for, so yeah, not going to go for that. Anyways, now we can go to the news. That's what we do. So let's get right into it. You wouldn't be remiss if you took a look at screenshots for Dragon Quest Builders and wrote it off as another Minecraft want to be. From the concept of crafting to the block structure of the world, these two games have a lot in common, and yet Dragon Quest Builders seems to bring something new to the table. And it may actually add the one missing ingredient a lot of Minecraft players complain about, a proper story. In Dragon Quest Builders, you have the goal of rescuing Alefgard, which has been captured by the evil Dragon Lord. In order to do this, you'll need to mine resources found in the blocky world around you and craft them into useful items that you will need to fight off your enemies. Yes, it all sounds a lot like a certain other game, but then there are some new layers added which make it sound a bit more interesting. One of those additions is that structures you build will get a leveling system. A simple house with walls and a door won't do much for you, but add to it and it will be upgraded to a full base. This will attract additional NPCs who will then take up residency around you. They will then be useful as they can then craft items for you. As more NPCs join your base, suddenly your simple house has grown into a town. These non-player characters are another differentiator that would make the game more appealing to some. They will be scattered throughout the world, living in their own houses. Players will be able to interact with them to gain items or invite them back to their base. This adds a sense that the world is a living, breathing place and not just a blank canvas for you to create. So while Minecraft veterans will find a lot that they're familiar with, there are a few additional hooks that just might draw in players who were turned off by the openness that the game allowed. Many complain that there was no surmountable end goal to achieve, and maybe Dragon Quest Builders will provide that additional ingredient. The game is scheduled for a Japanese release on January 28th, but you can be sure we'll have more news long before then. Kyle's excited. I can feel it.
Yay.
Speaking of great games, the latest update for Minecraft is coming to the Vita today to bring the version number up to 1.20. This continues 4J Studios' trend of updating and adding new features to the game on a monthly basis. So what can we expect in version 1.20? First, let's talk about the bugs that have been squashed in this update since the list is very short this month. They fixed a memory leak causing frame rate issues, fixed an issue causing signs to go blank for network players. But we don't love these updates for the bug fixes usually, but rather for the new content they bring with them. This month's update paves the way to bring the Doctor Who DLC skin packs to the Vita. Although those bug fixes, I would have to say, frame rate issues make me happy that those are fixed. Anyways, the Doctor Who 1 and 2 skin bundle will be available as a separate purchase and brings with it over 100 new skins based on the Doctor Who universe. You can now theme your worlds based on the classic BBC show while you play as the Good Doctor, as well as Amy Pond, Rose Tyler, or K9. As always, there will be a free trial for the new content to give you a taste of new stuff. The update should be available now, so get downloading. The emotional and thought-provoking Actual Sunlight released on the North American store last month, and when Zach reviewed it, he said, quote, Actual Sunlight is one of the most mature games I've ever played. Using a mixture of the visual novel and point-and-click formats, the game tells a brief yet sweet story about a man who is dealing with depression and suicide, end quote. In Actual Sunlight, you step into the shoes of Evan Winter, a depressed and overweight 30-something professional in Toronto, Canada. The game offers an internal perspective on his life, which is often difficult and sad, but also engaging and darkly humorous. The game will be arriving in English-language EU stores on October 7th, and you can read more about it in our September magazine issue if you're interested. The magazine now available for free at thevitalounge.net/magazine.
Alright, moving on. Trebuchet Games got in touch with us this week to let us know that they are hoping to launch their new game, Dead of Day, on the PlayStation Vita, if their Kickstarter campaign hits the required stretch goals. Dead of Day is described as a retro-style dungeon crawler in the style of classic games from the 1980s and early 1990s, such as Dungeon Master and Eye of the Beholder. The game is set in modern-day USA, where a deadly virus has spread through the world. There are two distinct parts that make up the game, with the corridor search element and the hub HQ. The hub is an area where you manage your base and its resources, looking after and arming the people that live there. Your base is upgradable, so you can improve its defenses in order to keep it going whilst you leave to search for more resources. When you're ready to venture out into the world, you will go and search buildings to gain more resources for your hub. This part of the game is presented in a 2D corridor system with a 3D view. Whilst walking down these corridors, you will find yourself opening doors, searching rooms, and battling zombies, creatures, and humans. The game's story has been detailed and goes something like this, quote, The world isn't a safe place, it just looked that way. For hundreds of thousands of years, viruses had taken its toll on the human race. At times we've been close to extinction, but we've always come through. But maybe not this time. Perhaps it was the growing population, the overuse of antibiotics, or just the fact that we've treated this planet with total disrespect. It was going to happen sooner or later. It didn't help that technology made the virus even more potent. Someone carrying the virus could travel around the world in a matter of hours, spreading death with them, just like the early sea merchants that brought the Black Death to Europe. It doesn't really matter now, all that matters is survival. If you come across an infected, don't hesitate to put them down, and whatever you do, don't get bitten, or you'll be another statistic. Just try to survive the dead of day, end quote. According to the game's Kickstarter page, Dead of Day will feature 5 different HQs that you can set as your home base. Up to 6 characters can go on a mission, that includes the player character. Quick battle and mission battle systems, inventory and upgrade systems, story arc and story missions, lots of places to investigate, lots of items to collect, different enemies that have different weak spots, and puzzles. If you're interested, be sure to check out the game's Kickstarter page for further info. Aside from that, keep an eye on the Vita Lounge for further news on the title, which is likely to come if and when the PlayStation Vita Kickstarter goal is reached. Next up, Digirati Distribution and Marketing has taken to Twitter this week to show off the fact that Paranautical Activity is up and running on our favorite handheld. First-person shooter with a roguelike twist, Paranautical Activity is officially up and running on Vita, according to a tweet made by Digirati DM. The tweet shows the game running on the console, along with an allusion to the fact that it's playable. At Digirati DM on Twitter writes, quote, Playing to at TwitchCon SF and Vita version of Paranautical Activity at PlayStation Vita equals smiley face. Have we perked your interest? I know the tweet about the game running has certainly perked mine, despite its blocky look and my aversion to that. I hadn't actually heard of it before, but I will be keeping an eye out now, so you can look forward to further updates. Bandai Namco and Granzilla have announced a new game titled Project City Shrouded in Shadow, what seems to be a tentative title. The game is a survival action adventure game, and it features life forms that are 7 meters tall, has flying objects that are just as large, and other things that are considered threats to humankind. The story is set within this world and has people trying to survive in it. The game will tell the stories of these humans attempting to live. Silicon Air reports that the name, City Shrouded in Shadow, was revealed in a teaser for the game by Bandai Namco before the Tokyo Game Show. Granzella's Kazuma Kujo is directing and designing the game, while Bandai Namco's Kensuke Tsukanaka produces it. Project City Shrouded in Shadow doesn't have a release date, but the Vita Lounge will be sure to let you know when it does.
Next up, God Eater Resurrection's demo has been given a release date by Bandai Namco. The demo will launch on October 2nd in Japan and will let players try out the new Predator style. Check out the beginning of the game's story and play demo-exclusive challenge missions. Players can also transfer the demo's data to the full version when it releases. The full version of God Eater Resurrection launches on October 28th in Japan and is also a cross-buy title. Back in August, Hatsune Miku joined the cast of Persona 4 Dancing All Night as DLC in Japan, but we hadn't heard any news on whether the Vocaloid singer would be coming to the West. Today, Atlus has confirmed and given a release date for the Western version. The pop star will be playable in Dancing All Night on October 20th in North America and will cost $4.99. She comes with a new track titled Heaven featuring Hatsune Miku ATOLS Remix and will also be playable in the game's free dance mode. Miku Miku. Exceed Games has given upcoming horror game Corpse Party Blood Drive a North American release date. The game will launch digitally and in retail on October 13th for $39.99. It will also receive a $49.99 Ever After edition, which comes with a 2-disc compilation of songs from Corpse Party, Book of Shadows, and Corpse Party Blood Drive. It will also come with a 100-page art workbook with selections from the entire series. As stated, Blood Drive is due out on October 13th in North America. As for Europeans, all we've heard so far is October.
Alright, moving on. The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky Evolution second chapter has been given a release date from Japanese website Rakuten. According to the retailer, the game will release December 10th in Japan and will have 3 editions. The first just includes the game and is 5,800 yen at retail and 4,800 digitally. An 8,300 yen limited edition will also be available, along with a 9,800 yen Kara Annie limited box release. However, we currently don't know what actually makes up the special editions for now, so stay tuned. And next up, Dengeki and D3 Publisher have given us a look at Mega Labyrinth's Yume, as well as a small bit of insight into the Torture Aroma item. First up, we take a look at newly revealed character Yume Amano, voiced by Kikuko Inoue. The big sister of the group, the good-looking Yume, is always both smiling and ready to help with advice. A former student and president of the student council, she now takes care of general affairs at the academy and is extremely popular with the students. Yume also runs the game shop, stocking HP recovery items, shields, and weapons. You'll also have to see her in the shop to grab any DLC items you've acquired, so keep that in mind. For you, as the player, this shopkeeping beauty will also be around for some girl talk, and you can also take advantage of her help with the PTA system as well. Wink wink. As for the information we've received regarding the Fate and Agony X Awakening system, we've already heard that you can use it to teach characters new skills and increase their status, and that by using a Torture Aroma item acquired in a dungeon, you can push a girl into an excited state, causing her to hallucinate a little. Creepy. What we've now learned, however, is that depending on the time and character you use the Torture Aroma item on, you'll get different results, something that might be worth remembering. Mega Labyrinth is set to release November 19th in Japan. Bandai Namco have been pretty decent supporter of the Vita, and just recently they told us the newest One Piece title, Burning Blood, will receive a Vita release in Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Australasia sometime in 2016. Coming from the renowned Japanese developer Spike Chunsoft, One Piece Burning Blood is built upon the wacky and rich One Piece universe and is described as offering a never-seen-before experience thanks to fast-paced gameplay and unique One Piece elements, such as the use of Logia Devil Fruits and Haki, which can be used to execute impressive special moves to defeat the fiercest enemies. Hervé Hort, the Vice President of Marketing and Digital at Bandai Namco Entertainment Europe, said, quote, "Meeting our fans on public and private events is a good way to get feedback on our games and see what the expectations are. One Piece Burning Blood is the perfect example of us creating a game impeccably in line with fans' desires. The long-awaited pure fighting game based on the One Piece universe is here," end quote. We bring you more news as soon as we have it, including any follow-up regarding a North American release, if there is one, which we're guessing there will be.
Alright, next up, yet another clue has surfaced that indicates Xcom Enemy Unknown Plus is heading to the PlayStation Vita. Europe's games rating agency, PEGI, has announced that they are giving Xcom for the Vita a rating of 18. We first received word from South Korea's games rating board when the game was listed back in July. Then earlier this month, the game once again surfaced on the ESRB's website with an M for mature rating. With PEGI throwing their hat into the ring, it's all but certain that XCOM Enemy Unknown Plus is making its way to the Vita. The question is when. Take-Two Interactive still hasn't made any announcement about the game, though it's also possible we could hear something at the upcoming Paris Games Week at the end of October. Of course, it's also possible we won't hear anything about the game until it quietly launches. Until then, it will join Civilization Revolution 2 Plus as an all but inevitable game that has yet to receive confirmation. Finally, some good news when it comes to apps on the Vita. Twitch announced during its TwitchCon 2015 keynote that a dedicated app would soon be available for PlayStation consoles, and yes, that also includes the Vita. The Twitch app will join live from PlayStation as a way players can watch games streams right from their device. You will be able to follow and interact with any broadcaster and live game stream on the service. It's the full Twitch experience in the palm of your hand. Well, it's almost the full experience. Players won't be able to stream their Vita games through the app, but only watch other streams. While such a feature would be nice to have, the Vita simply wasn't built with streaming in mind. PS4 players will be able to stream through their consoles, however. The app situation on the Vita has been sort of brutal lately, so this news is great to hear. Following the recent announcement that the Facebook app was losing support, it's good to know that not everyone has abandoned the Vita. The app is expected to release this fall, so we shouldn't have long to wait. Mighty Number 9 has been plagued with delays, the latest being in August, with the trial being delayed just a few weeks ago. However, it seems the Mega Man successor finally has a concrete release date. Deep Silver has revealed that the game will hit Vita as a digital-only title February 9th in North America and February 12th in Europe. Hopefully, they'll have their shit together by then.
Alright, home stretch, guys. The latest title from the Digimon universe is set to hit stores in Japan next year, and developer Bandai Namco are no strangers, dropping teasers. As well as details on the game's story and further information regarding the characters Shiki and Kuta, we're also given details on the new character, Hamari Abuchi. So let's begin with the story, which of course is described beautifully. Quote, "It's been a long time. Your heart flutters in your chest as you start up with the Digivice. In an instant, your entire body is covered in pure white light. When you wake up, you're in a mysterious world with no entrance or exit. Shattering your confusion, an unknown threat attacks, and your dear partners come rushing to your dilemma. The bonds that were almost broken are connected, and a path is formed. It's the last summer vacation of high school. From a miraculous light, the gate to a new adventure opens." End quote. Now let's meet the cast of Digimon World next order. Shiki is the female protagonist. Players can choose between her and the male protagonist Takuto. Her arrival in Digimon World seems to have a connection to the digital monster toy she wears on her wrist, which seems to have given her opportunity to travel from the real world to the Digimon World. Kuta shares similarities to Shiki. They are both third-year students, and both simply ended up wandering into the Digimon World. He is kind-natured and can read a room easily. Although he is an unpopular, many people feel he is missing something. Perhaps you will find that something at some point in the game. And finally, introducing the latest new character, Hamari Abuchi. She is once again a third-year student, and although she is sometimes mistaken as self-centered due to her acts on impulse, she is actually a very caring person. She always looks as though there is something on her mind. It was also revealed that Digimon will display a variety of different facial expressions throughout the game, so don't forget to keep an eye on your companion. For all the latest on Digimon World Next Order, keep checking back to TBL. As part of Paul's roundup for an upcoming EGX feature, following the exploits of Charlie and Paul's at the UK's biggest gaming event, he's been getting in touch with all the developers we met or that had games there. As he didn't meet South African developers Free Lives, I believe, the team behind Broforce, Paul instead sent them an email. Paul and the rest of us were hoping that we'd be able to secure an interview or a feature for Broforce, and the reply we received from the studio's dev whisperer Basil John Scordilis has left us a little devastated. Quote, although our original plans were for PS4 and PS Vita, this has since changed. We are currently only porting to PS4, not Vita. I know there hasn't been any official coverage on this, and for this I must apologize. End quote. We have since reached out to Basil again for more information and will update you if we obtain any, but that seems to be the end of Broforce on Vita, and another one bites the dust. And last news piece. If you're reeling from the news that was just posted and read about Broforce's cancellation, then you'll probably be hoping we avoid any more indie game development announcements for the rest of the week. But thankfully, we've got a good one for you. After being worried that Axiom Verge has been canned, delayed, or subject to a permanent hiatus following many rumors and a lack of information, developer Tom Happ posted some information on the Axiom Verge website to explain a little more. Having just had a baby with his missus, and promising her that he would take a few months off as paternity, there were medical concerns with their new youngster, which all seem to be under control now. He then went on to explain what's happening behind the scenes. The PS4 version of Axiom Verge was developed using Monogame, and Tom explains that a Vita-compatible version has not materialized. Quote, the original plan was that Mono would come out for Vita and I would just port over the same code I used for PS4, but I think something happened with Xamarin and the Mono port never materialized. Perhaps they wanted more money from Sony than the Vita games could possibly return. I don't know the details, this is just a guess. But then a small miracle happened and the folks at Sickhead, who also developed Monogame, started developing a C# to C++ cross-compiler, and Sony asked them to do Vita ports for both AV and Towerfall. End quote. This new solution does come at a slight cost, as Tom continues. Quote, the downside is that work is really, really hard. Originally they were thinking the tech would be ready in June, but it's obviously slipped. C# does a good job of shielding users from complex native underpinnings, and this is what Tom Spillman and folks need to replicate in full. From what I gather, they have Towerfall running to some degree, but AV is a more difficult beast in terms of things like executable size, memory usage, graphical complexity, etc. My personal prediction would be it'll be ready late this year, but it's hard to know for sure. End quote. We at the Vita Lounge would like to offer congratulations to Tom and his wife on the arrival of baby Alistair and wish them all the best, especially now that we can hopefully get our hands on Axiom Verge later this year. And that's the news.
Alright.
Alright.
Well, let's jump into those talking points, Kyle. What do we got?
Alright, well, as usual, Tyler, we'll start with announced or released games we're looking forward to from the week and what looks good.
It's not a game, But the Twitch app, I'm pretty excited for that. I want to see how well it runs and see if it's actually a good way at watching Twitch or something. Because it'd be kind of cool to have my phone just chilling and then just prop my Vita up, like if I'm live streaming something else or something, or just want to zone out, but I still want to use my phone and whatnot. Like, that'd be awesome. Like, I'm so down for this Twitch app. But yeah, it's not a game, but I'm excited for it, so I'm gonna say it anyways. Um, XCOM Enemy Unknown. I would love for an announcement or something of the sort, because I've never played any of the XCOM games, but I hear a lot of good about them, so I just want to know about it. Give us a trailer, give us something cool, talk about it, and get some excitement about it. What else here? Project City Shrouded in Shadow. That looks very interesting. I want to know more about it. Also, Paranautical Activity. Looks like it could be quite interesting. I'm not totally sure, but we'll find out hopefully soon. Also, I would love for Dragon Quest Builders to be announced to come to the West, because I like Minecraft, and this one looks like it could be more exciting just because it has a story and something to actually do. Like, I love being able to have an open world and do whatever the hell I want, but sometimes it's nice to be not like guided, but at least have like an objective. So that one looks very exciting. What else here? Mighty Number 9, I'm getting less and less excited for. That game is just... I backed it so long ago, and I just don't really care. So...
Mighty number, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and I think that's actually going to be for a lot of people. Like, I don't know. They screwed up heavily on that one, so... Anyways. What else here? There's not too much that... no. No, not too much I'm noticing, really. No, I lied. What is it called? Because I can't see it with this link. It's that Corpse Party game. Blood Drive. Yeah, that's the one. Corpse Party Blood Drive. I'm excited for that one. Anyways, what about you, Kyle?
All right. Well, I'm excited for Digimon World Next Order, even though it hasn't been announced over here. I don't know what it is. I'm getting in on these Digimon games, Tyler. I'm getting a little excited. So definitely that. I'm also with you on the Twitch app thing, not because of the reasons you have, but because I have a PlayStation TV. Hopefully, it'll work on the PlayStation TV, and well, or hopefully this whitelist thing will be still around, and it'd be nice to be able to watch Twitch without having to boot something, significant. My PS4 makes a little bit of noise, and I'm not in the biggest room, so it'd be nice to, be in a quieter environment and be able to watch a little gaming.
Yeah.
And the whole idea that you can now watch, something that's outside the whole live at PlayStation thing.
Right.
You can watch from any console and blah blah blah. I like that whole idea, so that's I'm looking forward to that. One Piece, Burning Blood. I keep saying this, and there was One Piece game on sale the other day for $9, but I was broke, so I've been saying it forever. I'll eventually get one of these One Piece games, and maybe I'll just be like, "Fuck this! I hate these stupid pieces of shit," like I did with the anime. But you never know. I thought it looked good from the outside, but anyway, moving on. Omega Labyrinth, would love if that came over here. It's really weird, and it's kind of even a little too weird for me in some places, but I'm okay with straying outside the lines, so I can deal with it. Corpse Party Blood Drive. I think really I'm gonna watch like Let's Plays or something. I was gonna play the games. I just don't have the time.
They're on sale right now.
Yeah, I know they're on sale for $10, but I don't have the time.
Yeah.
I'm not going back for them. I think I'm gonna watch Let's Plays. I think I've decided, so that's on the docket for me. And hopefully Blood Drive down the line if I like them. Also, Paranautical Activity. It's blocky. I'm not a big fan of that whole look. I don't mind retro, but blocky is kind of lame. But there's something about this one. I don't know. I haven't seen much, but what I've seen I've liked so far. So I'll be keeping an eye on that one for sure. Project City Shrouded in Shadow, I don't know too much about. Obviously, we don't know too much about. But at the same time, I'm a little bit interested in that one as well. And with mention of the God Eater Resurrection demo, I just wanted to note I'm definitely playing that. It comes out on the 2nd, and I'll be capturing some video of that.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Look at you. Also, I want
Taking advantage, Tyler. Taking advantage.
Yeah, that's very smart. That's very smart. Also wanted to mention when we did. Actually, no, it's in the next thing. So, are you done?
Yes, I am.
All right. So the next talking point is Extra Life. We've got a schedule up, but anyways, I was gonna say now that we're getting this Twitch app, hopefully it comes out before our live stream, because then you could literally watch our 24-hour live stream on your Vita, or if you're lucky enough, you'll be in the games with us. But hey, if you can't make it into one of the games, then bam, there you go. You get to watch it on your Vita. Anyways, yes, the Extra Life schedule is up. So if you're planning on trying to make it to one of the games, or you're just curious what we're going to be playing at what times, you can go to extra-life.org, and you can search the Vita Lounge team, and you will find the schedule. So yeah, we've got a full 24-hour schedule of tons of Vita games to play, and it's going to be great. I'm excited. So if you haven't gone there, head there, join our team, or if you're able to, give us a couple bucks, and these monies will go straight to children hospitals to help kids in need. So it's for a great cause, and it's literally all we're doing is playing video games, so why not, right? So head out there. Yeah.
And I just want to add 2 things. First thing, the times on the schedule are Pacific time, so
That's
keep that
true.
in mind. It's not UK time or Eastern time, it's Pacific time, Tyler's time. So adjust accordingly. Eastern would be plus 3 hours. UK would be, if it's London, plus
8.
I think 8 hours. So
Yep.
yeah, adjust accordingly. Also, the second thing is that schedule is probably, we'll say 90% set in stone. So likely things won't change, but they might. So don't, bet on things maybe before a week before, because
Right.
things could happen.
But we'll, of course, let people know if anything does change and
Of course.
whatnot. So, yeah, there you go. Extra Life. We're excited. I'm not excited to be really tired, but I'm still excited to do it. It was a lot of fun, even though I got sick last year.
How you feeling right now there, tired Tyler?
I'm tired. I'm not sick, so that's good. But I mean, this is like 2 months away, so things can change. But we'll keep my fingers crossed that nothing goes wrong and we have a great stream. And we actually might have some people from the Vita Lounge joining in too, not just Kyle and myself. So get on that. Hang out with us. Play some games.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my little bit. What do we got next, Kyle?
All right. Well, we've already mentioned this a couple times, but I just wanted to kind of touch on the extent of it. I now have the ability to capture video. As I said, I've whitelist hacked my PlayStation TV, so I can play most of the games. Some things still don't work. Just Ultimate. But so I'll be capturing a lot more. Looking into doing random gameplay, first looks, tutorials, and introduction to kind of videos, along with what I like to call Kyle Plays, which is my version of Let's Plays. And yeah, so lots more content. I don't have the ability to stream. That's one thing that kind of, based on what I have here, I can't do. So it'll be recorded videos that go up on YouTube. I'll try and keep them very regular, so lots of content coming out. And yeah, if you want to see anything, if you have any ideas, if you want to help contribute, something cool for me to use in one of these videos, throw it at me.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Let's jump into that listener mail. You want me to read the first one, or you want to do it?
Go ahead.
All right. First up, we've got bleh, some mail from AGH LFC at Papa Roach 84 on Twitter, and they say, "What is your best game you have played so far this year?"
All right. Well, yeah, I believe it's gonna have to be Danganronpa. Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls is, I think, the best game that I've played this year. Um, it's true to form Danganronpa with a kind of a twist that makes it more interesting, I think, in retrospect than the Clash Trials kind of ended up being. It was interesting, kind of the first idea, and as you kind of got into them, the story was interesting, but the actual method of kind of how it goes down is kind of too predictable. And the whole, third person shooter action element being added in kind of made me play it more, I think, than I played the Danganronpa games. Quicker to the end. So
I got
yeah,
you.
that. What about you, Tyler?
Oh man, when did Helldivers come out? Was that this year?
Yes, I think that was like March or April, something like that.
Then it's Helldivers.
Helldivers?
Yeah, that game is so much fun. It's a tough. Well, when did or not Persona? When did Danganronpa 2 come out?
End of last year, I believe.
Okay, I
Didn't
was
it?
wondering if it was might have come out this year. But anyways, yeah, Helldivers is fantastic. It's difficult, but like a good difficult. And with friends, it's just so entertaining, and that's a game that Kyle and I really need to jump back into because it's been a while. But yeah,
Definitely.
that's mine. That's mine. Although Resident Evil Revelations 2 was pretty fun, but I'm sticking with Helldivers. Sticking to it. Well, all right, thank you, Papa Roach 84, for your question. Let's head to the next one, Kyle.
All right. Real Vita Gamer at Real Vita Gamer on Twitter wants our comments on one P4D Persona 4 Dancing All Night costs $50 digital and physical. So our comments on that. And our comments on the trend of canceling games continuing. What do you think, Tyler?
All right, well, Persona 4 Dancing All Night costing $50 digital and physical. I'm still pretty early in the game, but I feel like this is a full Persona experience. It might seem like a spin-off, which it kind of is, but at the same time, it's a Persona game, and I think I'm over an hour into the story mode, and so far, like, everything has been fully voiced, and it's, if you're one of those people that loves having English voiceovers, it's full English voiceovers, so you don't have to read text if you don't want to. So I mean, it's a full-blown Persona game here, and the game looks really good, and it also plays really good. So yeah, it is pretty pricey, but at the same time, you're paying for quality. So personally, I have no problem paying this much for this game. Um, but I could see other people out there that would be a little hesitant just because it's a dancing rhythm game and they're not really sure what to expect. And yeah, I can understand that, but I don't know. I think it's okay, personally. Do you want to answer that part, Kyle, and then we'll jump into the next part?
Sure. For me, it doesn't really matter. I'm not looking to buy it day one, so the fact that it costs $50 to me is irrelevant. As far as other people, yeah, it's a little bit of a ding. I mean, usually Vita games top out at $40, but there are exceptions, and I think this is one of those games that, based on just kind of what it's coming from and who it's coming from and the quality of what you're going to get here, it's worth the $50 if you're into this kind of thing. So it's acceptable. I wouldn't say it's good, And I don't want to see it more often, but it's acceptable. We'll say that.
Right.
Yeah. So moving on.
I think it also has to do with the name, like the brand.
Yeah, definitely Atlas tax.
Yep. So, anyways, the trend of canceling games continues. It's frustrating. Um, you hear about these games that you get excited for, and then near what you would expect the release to be coming around, you hear the terrible news, and it's like, well, that's awesome. Sarcastic, awesome, by the way. So I I don't really know exactly what this could mean, but at the same time, there's so many other games out there that taking one of these games off my list doesn't hurt too much. Of course, there's a few games that really don't matter to me. Like Broforce looked like a really awesome game. It looked pretty fun, but I didn't need it. There's so many other games out there that I'm excited for, and this is just gonna help my backlog not continually grow. It does suck. I'm not saying it's like forgivable and all that, but yeah, it's I think it's more of coincidence than it is like a trend that's going to continually, snowball. Like we're going to see like a week from now another game being canceled, and then like 2 weeks from now another game. It's not. I don't feel like it's going to be like that. I think it's just unfortunately a few games all being having problems of their own and that are just unfortunate. What about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I think we're just at a time right now when kind of like one or two happened and it was like, okay, they had to be canceled. They had to come out now and say it, or they chose to come out now and say it. And then, when things like that happen, sometimes people panic, and that's definitely one of the things that are kind of going on right now. Vita's sinking and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, then you get all these people emailing devs, bugging them on Twitter, all this thing about when is your game coming out that we haven't heard about in a while. So I definitely think it's kind of response to that. The people that couldn't say, hey, our game is still coming, had to come out and say, shit's going down. But I definitely don't think it's big enough to be worried about. Like, I mean, we don't want to hear about games canceled. There's definitely some stuff that we should be hearing about that we haven't heard about. Um, and we want to know more, but at the same time, you know, I don't think we're going to have like a lot of cancellations right now because of anything, going on with the whole cancellation thing. Like it's kind of a, can you make this game and make it work with the money you have or not? Then you cancel your game. That's what you have to do. So it's just we're kind of at that point now where there's so many games that have to be, put out and done and looked at and all these things again because they've been delayed or they haven't got there yet or whatever, that we just kind of had a mass, amount of people that had to say, shit happened. We had to cancel our game. And it's just that it happened now instead of spreading them out, I guess.
Yeah. Well, all right. It's canceled games are no fun. But anyways, thank you, Real Vita Gamer, for your questions. Let's head out to the next listener mail, and it's from the usual non-skippo. And he says, with only $20,000 to go to reach its Vita stretch goal, any second thoughts? And he's referring to the Muv-Love Kickstarter. Kyle, second thoughts?
All right, so as we sit right now, it's under 16,000 and 34 days to go. So there's no doubt in my mind this is going to get funded unless they pull it. And the Vita goal is 500,000, so we're going to get there. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to reach it that fast. I definitely thought that they were kind of reaching a bit. But at the same time, I don't know a whole lot about Muv-Love, so I guess I didn't realize how many people wanted it and wanted it over here and wanted it, on Vita. So good to them for backing it and getting it. Looks like we're gonna, have Muv-Love on the Vita, so sweet. Don't really have much else to say. What do you have to say, Tyler?
Yeah, I was not expecting that either. But again, I don't know much about the series, so it's like, how could I expect anything really? So, but that's awesome. If you're a fan of this series, then hey, it looks quite likely that we're getting this game. So, yay! That's pretty much all I got.
Alrighty.
All right, let's head into. Wait, no, that's you. Never mind. You go, Kyle. Go. Go.
All right, let's head into the next question. So this one's from John B at 11JBOR on Twitter, and he asks, "What do you think about Shuhei Yoshida saying they won't be making another handheld in the future?" Tyler, what are you saying?
Well, I don't think he ever said directly that they're not making another handheld. He said the climate doesn't look healthy or something like that, right?
Yes, you're
That's
right.
that's technically not saying they won't. It's just making it sound very unlikely. And yeah, with how the Vita has been handled and how Sony's outlook on how the Vita is from almost every person's perspective, I would think that they would be like, yeah, they're not doing it again. But I don't know. I'm very optimistic, and I would personally love for them to do it again and actually give an effort to push another system like that. But uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't think Shuhei Yoshida has a like. He's obviously the president of all that fun stuff, but when the PlayStation 4 came out, I'm sure very soon they've already got some people writing down on the chalkboard what they want to do for PlayStation 5. And I feel like there's plans somewhere in Sony for a Vita 2 or whatever they would want to call it. And of course, they're going to do some type of resource and development to see the idea of what they could possibly do. So, I mean, there has to be something somewhere and consideration out there. Um, but as of right now, I feel like it's very unlikely. But of course, I would love for it to happen. Kyle, what about you?
All right, so this is just one of those things, Tyler, that I just shake my head when people say these things.
Oh,
All right,
lay it on us.
first of all, um, the climate being bad for another Vita. How about the climate isn't bad? You have to advertise the Vita for people to know that there is a Vita to be able to buy a Vita. How's that one?
Very true.
So it has nothing to do with the climate. It has to do with you didn't tell us that we had something that we needed to buy, so we didn't know. Second of all, the idea of an actual, next Vita or next handheld, um, it's gonna happen. Period.
Oh,
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's going to be a Vita 2 right now or coming up soon or even in the near future. What I'm saying is they will go back to handhelds, and this is why. Computer technology is not going the way it used to go. So it used to go every year, things got faster. Now they're not really getting so much faster as they are battery and energy efficient. So what I'm thinking is, in a couple years, we're not going to have home consoles. We're going to have consoles that you can unplug from the TV and walk around with that are handhelds that have some sort of HDMI or whatever the future plug-in is that plugs into your TV and are just like that. So I'm thinking we're going back to handhelds no matter what. It's just whether or not they think they can sell one right now. And really, if they did, the whole selling and advertising and marketing thing properly, they could. So I think this is just one of those, you know, they don't know what they have kind of things. Because the Vita, even if you could rebrand the Vita right now and sell it. Like if you had the Vita Lounge as your marketing team, we could get Vita sold. So like I mean, I think yeah, it's just one of those situations where they don't know what they have, and it's just kind of making things worse and worse. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go, John. Those are answers.
Yep.
So thank you, John, for your question. Let's head into the next one. And the next question is from Darley5 at John_Darley. And he says, what is the best snack food?
All
What would
right.
it be, Kyle?
So my favorite snack food, I'm gonna have to say chips, and I'm gonna have to say Cool Ranch Doritos. That's my go-to snack food. So if I need something to munch down while I'm having a long gaming session or something, that's what I go for, even though it leaves cheesy shit on my fingers. So what about you, Tyler? What do you eat?
Oh man, I vary from a lot of stuff, but lately it's been these Nature Valley bars or whatever. I don't know what they're called, but they're Nature Valley ones, and they're like, what flavor are they? It's like dark chocolate or something like that.
Hmm.
Like it's, I don't know. I have a box maybe somewhere. Yeah, I do actually. Ugh. Don't mind all the weird noise. I'm leaning over grabbing a box. Got it. Alright, they're Nature Valley crunchy granola bars. Oats and dark chocolate. They're delicious. And they're not unhealthy, really. But then again, I also eat a ton of chips, so basically just canceling all that healthy out. So yeah,
Well,
that's my go-to thing.
awesome.
Although I'm out right now, so it kind of sucks.
Me too.
So yeah, there you
All
go,
right.
John.
So yes, thank you, John. We thought that was all the listener mail, but we have one more here that I missed, so I'm gonna have to read it.
All right.
Lorenzo Samaniego. I can't read what is it here? At Zosam ZOSAM 32 on Twitter asks, with the new colored Vitas being released, do you think Sony is finally showing real support? Now I'll pause for laughter and throw it to Tyler.
Yeah, not really. I mean, the colors are coming out in Japan only if you don't count the blue one that's coming over here. Um, but I feel like the Japanese market, it's doing pretty well. Like, it's not doing amazing. It's doing decently over there, and the colors are going to definitely spark some interest, and people love colors. Um, so I guess it's a little bit of support, but I don't know. Like, they're throwing us North American users a bone with this blue one, but that's it. Like, if they were giving us all of the colors over here, and like each one had like their own game, like exclusive game for each one, I'd be like, oh man, things are changing. But no, they're like, here's a color, and it's limited, and you can only get it at GameStop. And we're not going to talk about it really at all, except for one blog post that we do on our PlayStation blog post, and that's it. So yeah.
Tyler's a little salty, and I'm gonna have to agree with him. With the new colored Vitas being released, I don't think you should expect anything. I think what happened was they made a whole bunch for Japan. They were like, well, let's throw North America and maybe Europe later a bone. Here we go. And that's just kind of what it was.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's pretty cool, but like I said, I feel like even if they just brought the blue one over and had like one game like bundled with it or something, I'd be like, "Oh, okay, this is real nice." Like I'd actually be like, "Okay, sweet." But I mean, it's just a Vita and that's it. And it's one color, and like I said, they're not really talking about it. And I mean, I was at PAX Prime, and that's not to be a pun here, but that's a prime location to bring out some new Vitas and show it off to the public. Like, I mean, there was thousands and thousands of people there, and of course, they don't even have one goddamn Vita. And they're like, oh yeah, next week we announced that we're bringing a new Vita. It's like, oh, come on. I was just in Seattle with tons of game people. That's your perfect opportunity to put the bulletproof glass case and put a Vita inside there, and people will be like, ooh, ah, ooh. But no. No, they don't do that. They don't care. Don't worry, we're not salty. Anyways, yeah. Thank you, Lorenzo, for your question. Is that all we got, Kyle?
That is all we have.
All right, let's go into the next thing. Normally it would be guess that game, but as you can obviously tell, Liam is not here, so we will hopefully do that another time. But we're going to jump into check this out. Excuse me. And I'm going to use a cheese ball game here. It's not really a cheese ball game, it's just I'm going to be a cheese ball and pick an easy game. And it's going to be Persona 4 Golden, because Persona 4 Dancing All Night just came out. And if you haven't played Persona 4 Golden, don't be picking up Persona 4 Dancing All Night. It takes place right after Persona 4 Golden, so you'd be silly to get that one and play through that. It would spoil everything. So you definitely need to be picking up Persona 4 Golden if you have not. Play through that game, enjoy the hell out of it, and then get your dance on with some Persona 4 Dancing All Night. So, Persona 4 Golden. Kyle agrees. I said Kyle agrees. Are you just ignoring me?
We were saying some bullshit over there, so I was just being quiet.
Oh man, you had me fooled. I thought Skype shut down or something. I had to open up and look at the connection. I was like, wait a minute, nothing's wrong. He's just being an asshole right now. Way to go. All right. Kyle likes Persona 4 Golden. He'll agree to that.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
He doesn't like my cheese ball pick though, but I think it's great. There's nothing on sale, Kyle. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Well, all right.
No.
Anyways, let's jump into the threads. Kyle, what are we going to check out in the threads? The thread
All right,
zone.
so we have this new thread, and it's called Do You Buy Vita Games Because You Want to Support It? And member Fic Descriptor is asking basically this. Do you find yourself feeling somehow more inclined to buy Vita games, even if you have a backlog, simply because you feel good about supporting the system? Now, it's kind of an interesting question because I think Vita owners do that a little bit more than maybe other system owners do, just because we know we love the games that we get and we don't want less of them. So I know it's kind of probably more prevalent for us, and that's kind of what makes it an interesting question. So me, yes, I do, but not often, and usually on sale, so that's probably not good. What about you, Tyler?
Yeah, I do sometimes. I'm guilty with that Arno Surge game. I didn't know anything about it. I looked at maybe one little quick trailer and was like, special edition, and bought it, and was like, well, yeah, I haven't played it in a while now, but I supported it.
Tyler. Gotta play these games, but support them too.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, that's the thread from this week. I think it's a pretty good one. So jump in there, and if you have a good idea for a thread, you can always make it into next week's threads for the week. So throw up your threads and make some good conversation there on the forum.
Yeah, do that.
Or else.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get out of here, Kyle. It's a full episode.
Sounds like a plan, Tyler.
So, if you've got listener mail or comments, contact us via mediaservices@thevitalounge.net. You can find everything we talked about today at thevitalounge.net. The news, reviews, featured articles, store updates, the podcast, a community forum, and a magazine, both digital and physical. You can support the site and get a physical copy of the magazine via patreon.com/thevitalounge. We're on Twitter at The Vita Lounge. I'm at Mr. PS Vita Reviews. Kyle is at Teflon Tactics. We're also on Facebook. Just search The Vita Lounge. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/loungeplay. Kyle's doing all his fun stuff over there, so get on that. This podcast is available on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, YouTube, and via direct download on the site. So subscribe to those. Let us know how we're doing. Give us a rating, and that is it for episode 95. We are nearing episode 100. It's getting crazy. I can feel it.
It is getting crazy.
I can't wait.
Me either.
Party.
Live stream party time.
We're going to dance all night.
You're gonna dance all night. I'll just stand there looking at you like a retard.
That's kind of creepy, though. Just stand there staring at me as I dance. We're out.